What's the biggest promise your boss ever broke? I was 23 when I started at Morrison Tech as a junior developer. During my interview, CEO David Morrison made this passionate speech about work-life balance and treating employees like family. He promised our team we'd never work more than 40 hours a week, never sacrifice our personal lives for deadlines. For the first 3 months, he kept that promise. Meetings ended by 4 p.m., weekends were sacred, overtime was discouraged. He was the progressive leader tech blogs wrote about, the kind employees praised online. Then we landed the Apex contract. It started small. David would suggest maybe staying just an hour late to polish presentations. HR would send friendly reminders about upcoming deliverables during our lunch breaks. Soon, I was coding until midnight while my dinner grew cold at home. Just until we get through this phase became the company motto. By month 6, I was debugging code at 2 a.m., attending weekend strategy sessions, and sleeping in my car between back-to-back sprints. I'd send status updates during bathroom breaks, then relay progress to David's assistant later. He'd nod, ask surface-level questions to seem involved, then pivot to revenue projections. "This contract will change everything for us," David would say. "We're building something revolutionary here," he'd explain, though the app was fairly standard. One Friday, our server crashed at 11 p.m. I called David 18 times while frantically restoring backups. He didn't respond until Monday morning. His text read, "Sorry, was camping with family. All good now?" All was not good. We'd lost 3 days of client data. When teammates started quitting, I learned to interview replacements. When budgets got slashed, I researched which benefits we could eliminate. When junior developers cried from exhaustion, I was the one covering their shifts and promising things would improve. My social life became a memory of canceled plans and ignored texts. My relationship ended over missed dinners. Meanwhile, David's LinkedIn showed him at conferences, golf tournaments, family vacations, recharging for the team, he called them. The breaking point came during our final sprint. We needed round-the-clock coverage for 2 weeks before launch. David promised he'd work alongside us in solidarity. On day 2, he had a family emergency. Day 3 brought an investor meeting in Cabo. I worked all 14 days straight, surviving on energy drinks and vending machine sandwiches. When we finally launched successfully, David appeared in a designer suit with the press. He gave interviews about our incredible journey and never compromising on excellence. The articles praised his visionary leadership and dedication. That night, I found my teammate Jake packing his desk. "What's wrong?" "We just shipped," I said. "He's taking credit like he was here," Jake whispered. "But he wasn't. You were." After the launch celebration, I updated my resume immediately. I took interviews during lunch breaks to plan my exit. 3 months later, I submitted my resignation with a detailed breakdown of actual hours worked versus company policy. David was shocked, genuinely confused why I would abandon our family after we'd all built something amazing together. HR reviewed my timesheets, noting who had actually managed every crisis and worked every weekend. They asked David to name specific contributions he'd made during crunch time, or any technical details of what we'd built. He couldn't. I started my new job the following Monday. My entire team followed within 6 weeks. 2 years later, David called. Morrison Tech was hemorrhaging clients. The cruel irony wasn't lost on me. They needed someone to salvage relationships, rebuild the technical foundation, and restore team morale. The board was losing confidence in his leadership. "We need you back," he said. "Companies have to support each other during transitions like this." I agreed to meet him at his office for one final conversation. I sat across from his mahogany desk, watching his desperate expression as he confronted the same pressure we'd endured for months. When he finished his pitch, I stood up, gathered my things, and said, "I hope someone shows up for you." Then I walked out the door and never looked back. My former teammates and I spent that evening celebrating at our new company's happy hour, discussing our upcoming product launch. Jake's leading the engineering team now. He wants to build workplaces where promises actually matter.